Our intentions have the ability to be a magic potion. And you can think of actually like a potion bottle. And inside the potion bottle is the frequency of the intention. And we can bottle these frequencies up in potion bottles when we are just naturally and organically experiencing them. So this might be a moment when you are all lit up by something. You have inspiration flowing through you. And it's like creative inspiration, and you're just really in the creative flow, and it feels so good. You can take a moment, either during it or afterwards, and say, and I'm going to create an energetic container within me, a little potion bottle. Understanding that little isn't, it doesn't matter the size because it's within you. And so size is not actually a thing. It might feel like it takes up a little bit of space, but it might be enormous in terms of the frequency that it holds. So we want to set the intention when we recognize, like, oh, this was an amazing thing I just experienced, and I'm so grateful for this experience. Put some of that frequency in a little potion bottle container in your imagination and hold it there. And when you feel like, oh, you know what, I wish I felt more of this thing again, in this case, inspired. I wish I felt more inspired right now. Grab a drop of that potion and just let it move through you where you are right now. Now, the other cool thing about this is, so like, let's say we were going to do this for abundance. So say you have a moment when you receive a windfall of money. Okay, whether it's $100, $5,000, $500,000, whatever it is, and it's like, oh, this feels so good. I love this. Create a potion bottle. And we can do this in retrospect as well because we can actually connect in energetically with previous experiences. So you can actually connect in with the experience of being all lit up in the flow state with creativity and inspiration flowing through you. You can connect in with the experience and you will literally have a few that come to mind that you can connect into. If you want to connect in with the experience of abundance, you can ask yourself, when is the last time do I feel like um, an overflow of money was gifted to me in some way? Doesn't have to be huge. It could be $100, but okay, let me tap into the remembrance of that moment and how that felt. And let me place that feeling, that energy, that experience in this potion bottle. And you can start stacking. You can create stacks of shelves within you of little energetic containers, little potion bottles that are full of all of the frequencies that are the seeds to creating the life of your dreams. Because all of these experiences that you've had in your life were gifts, were seeds to show you who you really are and what you're meant for in this lifetime. And so seeing them that way, starting to store the seeds in potion bottles, these weren't accidents when you had that experience of abundance come to you. It wasn't an accident when you had an experience of creative inspiration and feeling lit up. These were not random. These were not good enough because it just happened now and I don't know how to get back to it. These were literal seeds. And so let's gather them. Let's harvest them. Let's place them in energetic containers within us and let's remember them in the moments when we feel like we're lacking that. We are often waiting for the external conditions to feel incredible. Or even more pointed is, welcome, Chi Chi. Even more pointed is, we are sometimes waiting for the internal conditions to be right or perfect. You didn't come here to wait. You didn't come here to only act when you feel good. You came here to create. You came here to lead. You came here to collect the seeds, make these potion bottles with remembrance of who you are and what is possible for you, even on the days when you feel completely disconnected from the magic. To take out those seeds, those frequency potions, and drop them in to who you are now. You came here to become the most magnificent version of you. And that most magnificent version of you leads yourself on the days when it feels good and on the days when it doesn't feel good. That most magnificent version of you chooses to bring your focus and attention to, what if I did this and it worked out for me? Instead of, what if I do this and it doesn't work out? The most magnificent version of you chooses that not everything is going to feel great on your path, that it doesn't have to feel great to be an important part of your path, that sometimes it's on you to bring in the frequency of who you really are, because those seeds of those experiences you've had in your past that have felt so good, that's simply who you really are. So you bring those seeds, those potions, those frequencies into the moments when it feels hard. You remind yourself who you really are and what's possible for you. You break out of the chains that you've placed on yourself and you start scattering the seeds all throughout your day of remembrance of who you really are. This is a big thing that I have had to do on my path. I was just shown the potion jars this morning. I don't normally have potion jars, but I'm going to play with it. I'm going to explore it. I'm going to have so much fun instead of just dropping in, okay, I'm feeling lack today, so I'm going to anchor into and activate abundance. Instead, I'm going to say, where did I last experience the frequency of abundance? Let me bottle that into a potion, place it on my potion shelf within me. And the next time I'm feeling lack, I'm going to pull that potion in. So it's not just I'm activating something that I've heard of, something that I know is possible for me. I'm going to start activating the next level of I've already experienced a little bit of this. And the truth is, we have all had experiences that have seeded the next steps for us. And we have had experiences that feel like they have told us, stop here, don't go in that direction. We have had all kinds of experiences, but everything has been happening for you. And all of the beautiful, positive blessings you have received are the seeds, are meant to go into potion jars in your heart and be taken out on the hard days to remind you. This is just another way of reminding ourselves of who we really are, of what we're really capable of. It's another way of stepping outside of the chains and the cages that we have built for ourselves across many lifetimes. It's just a way of remembering. Limits don't apply to you unless you decide that they do. Limits don't apply to you unless you decide that they do. You can be anything, have anything, do anything. Limits are just chains. Now, I've spoken about this many times. We need to have some limits or we won't bring anything into physical reality. We'll stay in the universal mind, quantum field, imagining and dreaming. And so we have to choose, and this is what I choose to create into physical reality. But let's do that from a place of remembering that anything's possible for us, that we can shoot for the moon, that we can do crazy things. We can do big things. We can do things that a lot of people would label as impossible, and perhaps past versions of us would label as impossible. Perhaps the current version of us wonders if it isn't impossible. And we can do these things. We can do these things. And so let's not create from the place of, and I think I can manage this. I think this makes sense for me. I think that this is what I can get behind, because our soul disengages and our soul will say, "Oh, this person isn't serious. They're just here to play." And it'll play and send us all over the place playing instead of creating deep change and impact, which is what we're actually here for. Deep change, deep impact. And deep impact starts within us. Deep impact starts with us being a space of transformation for ourselves that we haven't been before. It starts with us being honest about where we have limited ourselves, where we have placed chains on ourselves, and choosing to let it go. Choosing to say there is nothing and no one stopping me from stepping out of this cage, from breaking the chains and walking forward. Accept my fear, accept my doubts, and I no longer answer to them. I no longer answer to them. Now, this will mean you will be guided to take actions that are scary, that you don't know how they will work out. And this is where we want to bring the potions in. On the days when it's hard to show up, on the days it feels like there's a lump in our throat and we can't speak, the most magnificent version of you shows up and follows the plan that you made, the plan you promised yourself. I'm here to create this and I'm going to create it. You don't jump ship on the day the plan feels hard. You say, where's the potion? Where's the remembrance of who I am and my limitless power? And you pull that in and you go forward and you take the scary action and you change your world. Now, the truth is, here's the truth. It's a practice to get behind taking the scary action and telling yourself, I'm going to be okay and I'm going to be confident. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be confident. I can go take an action in a deep place of fear and have it not work out for me because I'm taking it from a deep place of fear. That's still going to move me forward because at least I'm going to find out I didn't die. And so next time, I'm going to have a teeny bit more confidence moving forward on my path. But I could practice being insanely crazy instead. And I could practice saying, there is no evidence at all that this is a good idea. There is no evidence at all that I should be confident about this. And I'm going to be practice instead going out there and taking this action from a place of shoulders back. This works out for me. I'm going to bring in the potion of abundance and magic and inspiration. And this works out for me. I'm going to drop that potion frequency in and I'm going to go take that action and I'm going to move forward a lot faster than I would have if I acted from the place of, I'm terrified right now. This might not work out for me. These both exist. Every time we take an action, both potentialities exist. This doesn't work out, this works out. Okay, so it would be lying to ourselves to say, I know with absolute certainty how this is going to work out. Now, I do have the belief system that everything's happening for me. So whether it works out the way I wanted it to or doesn't, I know it's still happening for me. But it's lying to ourselves to say everything's going to work out perfectly the way that I want it to every single time. That's not where confidence comes from. Confidence does not come from certainty things are going to work out the way that you want them to every time. Confidence comes from you being solid that you will continue to show up for your dreams and your plan, even when it doesn't work out. That's where confidence comes from. Confidence comes from I show up every day for my dreams, even on the days when it looks like it doesn't work out. Confidence comes from you holding the frequency of trust. This is working out for me. In the end, this is going to work out for me, even on the days when it looks like you're failing. That's where confidence comes from. And confidence looks like I'm going to go out there and I'm going to speak and act as if this is working out for me. Yes, I know there's the potentiality that I could fall flat on my face here, but I'm not going to speak and act from that potentiality. I'm going to speak and act from the potentiality that this could work out even better than I could imagine. That's where I'm going to speak from. I'm going to hold the frequency and the energy of this is going to work out even better than I could imagine. This is what changes everything for the better. This is what changes everything for the better. And along the way, I'm going to drop these potions, these frequencies, these remembrances in. Things have worked out for me in the past. Good things have happened for me in the past. This is just going to be another in a long string of good things that have happened to me. We are in a huge death and rebirth portal right now, with still having until about the middle of February, we are still in the energy of the last 9-year cycle, and we're already also in the energy of the new 9-year cycle. And so there's two versions of us that exist right now that are coexisting within us very, very strongly. The version of us that's done, the version of us that's fed up, the version of us that is wise and ancient and knows it all and has seen it all and is jaded and is done. Like this version of us has had it up to here. And this version of us is like, I am tired of it being like this. And at the same time, there is this new, naive spring bunny within us that's like hopping all about. I'm so excited. I'm so naive. Everything's going to work out great for me, and I'm going to go create these amazing things, and it's going to be so wonderful. And this version of you is not jaded at all. This version of you is not tired. This version of you is just getting started. This version of you is lit up and on fire. And this version of you is like, I know this is crazy, but somehow I believe that all of these amazing things are possible, and I'm just going to trust that. And you're holding both at once right now. And that is a lot. That's a lot, and it's also confusing. So the energy that we're in right now is confusing because there is a version of you that has completed this entire cycle and is still dying. And there's a version of you that is brand new and starting an entire new cycle and is so excited and is so alive and can't wait and has no idea what you're in for, but is like, let's go do this. This is going to be amazing. And so the challenge that we are experiencing right now is how do I hold the duality of these two parts of me? And the answer is right now, for the next few weeks, we're being called to integrate these two parts. And integration looks like recognizing that the version of you that's tired, that's done, that's jaded, that's has seen it all, knows nobody's perfect, including you. This version of you is wise as F. Wise. This version of you is magically wise. This version of you has the opportunity to collect all these potion frequencies of, of all of these beautiful seeds that have dropped in. This version of you also has learned so many lessons. Lessons that we want to extract the wisdom from, not the chains, not the cages. So this is a time to look at what lessons have I learned and where have I still created a cage for myself? Where am I carrying around limits from past lessons? And how can I break down those limits and just, like, no, I'm not going to carry around a limit from this lesson. No, I'm not going to do that. Because that's where that jaded part of you is coming from the limits you picked up instead of the lessons. It feels like the limit is the lesson. It's not. It's not. Freeing yourself from the limit is the actual lesson. Freeing yourself from the limit is the actual lesson. What if the limits that you believe that you've learned are true for you are BS? What if you are free? What if you can create way bigger than you've been giving yourself credit for? So let's, as we create potion bottles, the frequencies that feel so good from the experiences that we've had, and potion bottles with lessons that are free of limits. Let's recognize the limits we choose to walk into this new 9-year cycle, we will spend the next years trying to free ourselves from. What if you really could create the things that you dream of? What if you really could? Because you can. But you can't do it by asking to only do it on the days when the internal and external conditions feel good. That is a self-imposed limit. Only if this feels good will I do it. Instead, what we are called to do is get so solid within us, so in love with the dream that we are called to create here, that we drop the potion in on the hard days. We hold ourselves in showing up even when it feels like our heart will break to do so. We allow ourselves to become stronger than we ever have before. We allow ourselves to fully rise up, walk into this new 9-year cycle, limitless, free, in our creative power. It's so available to us right now. What I see in you is this incredibly bright light, this incredibly powerful creator. I see someone who can change the world. I see someone who could do big things. I see someone who is receiving intuitive downloads. I see someone who has all of the potential that you know that you have in your best moments. In your best moments, you know that that potential is so real and so present. And I also know that there's been a lot of programming in this world about how and when we should show up for ourselves. The key to really knocking this new 9-year cycle out of the park is the identity of showing up for the dream on your heart every day, even when it feels hard. And dropping in the potion of confidence on that day, dropping in the potion of, I trust this is going to work out better than I could imagine. Dropping in the potion of abundance, dropping in the potions, the seeds that you've already been given, not the limits, let them go. This 9-year cycle is going to be the most expansive 9 years that you've ever had. You are going to embody a version of you that you can't even comprehend right now. I'm being shown this in this moment with full certainty. This is where you're going. The path to it will be easier if you surrender today to the fact that there are going to be days where it feels easy and days where it feels hard as F. And it's not about I show up on the good days when it feels good. It's about I show up every day for the dream in my heart. And I'm the one who drops in the feelings of this feels good. I'm the one who brings the remembrance to it. You are the magician, the wizard, the creator, the leader. You are. And this can get confusing because we are interacting with this intuitive guidance within us. We are interacting with God's source, our divine soul, and perhaps more guides beyond that. And it feels sometimes like, well, they're the creator, right? They're the leader. I need to wait for them to lead. No, that is old earth mentality, and that was right for old earth. We are no longer in old earth. You are the leader. You are the creator, and they assist you. It is a back and forth conversation with our inner guidance. There's going to be days when that conversation feels great. It's going to be days when that conversation feels hard. There's going to be days when the conversation or when the things that we do feel great, and there's going to be days when they feel hard. The path to the life of your dreams, it involves you stepping away from every limit that you have created for yourself. And breaking a limit requires courage. Breaking a limit requires trust. And those days are hard. You cannot get where you want to go through a series of only easy days. It is a lie, and that lie keeps you small. You came here for massive impact. You are a force of nature. Who you are is so big, is so powerful, is so transformational, and you know it. And you also are terrified of it. And when I say you, I mean me too. This is for me as much as it is for you. This 9-year cycle, let's let the limits go. Let's allow ourselves to rise up and become the most magnificent version of us. There's major binds coming up. I'm going to wrap everybody's throat in highest vibrational light, dissolving out, dissolving out, dissolving out. What was bound is unbound. What was bound is unbound. What was taken is restored. What was taken is restored. Clearing karmic agreements with the beings who created these binds. Clearing karmic agreements with all the dark groups. Activating next levels of it is safe to take up space in the world. It is safe to be all of me. It is safe to shine bright. It is safe to speak my transformation. It is safe to speak my transformation. It is safe to embody my transformation. It is safe to speak it, and it is safe to step forward, deeply embodying the codes of transformation. So I feel like we're just going to go ahead and dive right into some light work here because there's a lot coming up to release around all of this. It feels like, so just go ahead and relax, closing your eyes, taking a deep breath in, filling your lungs with air, and release. Another deep breath in and release. One more deep breath in and release. Releasing the fears, doubts, worries, thoughts of lack. So you go deeper and deeper and deeper into I am safe and all is well. I am safe and all is well. I am safe and all is well. Just bringing your attention to any memories, pictures, videos playing within you of times that you have not yet cleared where you may have spoken limits into reality for yourself. And they may have been felt as lessons at the time, but allowing yourself to see now how they were learned limits. Just letting yourself see. Mm. So, what I see for some of you coming up as like, it felt like a lesson, but it was actually a learned limit. Um, it looked like I better close my heart off in certain situations because I might get hurt. So this felt like a lesson, but it was actually a learned limit. And then for others, it looks like if I try to do this way, it won't work out for me. So, and I'm seeing like in some cases money was involved or a relationship was involved. Um, it could be an exploration into the world was involved. Somehow you were doing your best to expand to your next level. But it felt like the lesson coming back was that's not available to you. And so you should stick more in your lane, which was actually you then shrinking down. So, whatever it is for you, just allowing it to rise up. Okay, so in these instances that are coming up to clear, what it looked like was a great deal of discomfort or pain or failure or heartbreak was involved. And so the lesson became for you, again, it wasn't an actual lesson, it was a learned limit, became for you, avoid things that feel heavy because that just means it's not going to work out for me in the end. And look for things that only feel light. Look for things that only feel easy or perfect. And that has created a disconnect between you being the version of you that shows up on all the days to follow through on the actions that will bring in your dreams. So, what we're actually going to do as we see this and send love to the past versions of us, because what can happen as we start to see that in some instances we learned limits instead of lessons, um, what we can start to see is, oh, that past version of me was so stupid. That past version of me was not good enough. Why didn't they see this more clearly? Why did they take this on? Oh my gosh, I don't like this past version of me. So just being aware of any shame, blame, guilt that comes up for you as you become more aware of any limits that you may have learned or taken on. Dissolving out these limits now, dissolving out all the binds that were spoken into reality, were thought into reality, were felt into reality around these limits, dissolving out these binds, dissolving out, dissolving out, dissolving out. What was bound is unbound. What was bound is unbound. What was taken is restored. What was taken is restored. Clearing karmic agreements with the beings who created these binds, clearing karmic agreements with all the dark groups, activating next levels of it is safe for me to shine bright. It is safe for me to shoot for the stars. It is safe for me to be all of me, to be who I really am, a divine, powerful, immortal soul, God source embodied, a creator, a leader, a powerhouse of transformation here on earth. It is safe for me to transform. It is safe for me to be a space of transformation for others. It is safe for me to fly. It is safe for me to fly. It is safe for me to fly. Just letting the limits dissolve out, letting them go. I release, I release, I release, I release, I release. Dissolving out now the imprint of the version of you who has shrunk down, who has hid in the corner after something that felt like failure. Wrapping that version of you in love and letting it go. I release, I release, I release. And activating the next level of knowing that you are safe in failure just as you are safe in success. It is safe to experience. That the path to your dreams will include failures, the path to your dreams will include wins. The path to your dreams will be multifaceted and multidimensional. The path to your dreams is a microcosm of life, your life path. It is not meant to be perfect. It is meant to be lived. It is meant to be, and I remember who I am through all of it, the good and the bad, the ups and the downs. I remember, I remember, I remember. And because I remember, I am so much more than this life, this body, this earth. I remember that I am the light of God's source embodied, that I am an immortal soul, that the failures in this lifetime are just a blip, just like the winds are just a blip on the overall map of my soul's existence. Wrapping your throat again in highest vibrational light. Dissolving out more binds that are rising up, placing a filter design on your throat. What was bound is unbound. What was bound is unbound. What was taken is restored. What was taken is restored. Clearing karmic agreements with the beings who created these binds, clearing karmic agreements with all the dark groups, the Illuminati, the Cabal, the Syrian Sisterhood, Black Widow Coven, Pleiadian Emissaries of Light, Dark Brotherhood, and any other dark groups I did not mention. Activating next levels of it is safe for me to speak my big, huge, true heart's desire into reality. It is safe for me to hold huge vision here on earth. It is safe for me to embody my immortal soul and the light of God's source within me. It is safe for me to love myself even when I fail. It is safe for me to love myself even when I win. It is safe for me to be all of me. It is safe for me to remember that this heart's desire, it's leading me back to myself every step I take. This is not a game of failure versus win. This is a game of I embody my truth and my power. I remember. I remember. I remember. Activating next levels of it is safe for me to remember. It is safe for me to remember. It is safe for me to be all of me. It is safe for me to remember and be all of me. Let's take a group of potion bottles now. We're going to create a beautiful light design of a shelf. It looks like a golden shelf to hold all of these potion bottles, as many as you would like. And into each of these potion bottles, we drop the limitless lessons that you have learned in this lifetime and other lifetimes, the coding of limitless potential and limitless possibility, dropping into these bottles. And now the frequencies from the blessings that you've experienced in this lifetime. Tapping into those blessings and the frequencies. And dropping them into the bottle. Place some labels on the bottles. Here's the abundance bottle. Here's the unconditional love bottle. Here is the lit up from within bottle. Here's the connection bottle. Here's the confidence bottle. Here is the courage bottle. Here's the trust bottle. Here's the remembrance bottle. Here's the passion bottle. Just feeling these fill up effortlessly and easily, placing them on these beautiful golden shelves, along with the activation, knowing, and remembrance that these potions are available to you at any time. You can pick one up and sprinkle it on you, feeling it move through you, connecting to that past experience. Maybe it was a moment of confidence, connecting to that past experience of confidence, allowing the coding of it to move through you before you go take an action where you choose to call in and use that confidence yet again. All the seeds have been placed in this lifetime for you to take action in alignment with your guidance in a way that helps you to embody more of who you really are. Feeling your heart open and expand. Yes, 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 yes. I am ready to go forth into the world with a deeper embodiment, a deeper remembrance, a deeper coding of all the things that I've already been shown are possible for me. I choose to release the limits and step fully into my magic, activating next levels of I am magic. 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 Wrapping you in cerulean blue light frequency to assist you in embodying these upgrades gently, easily, and peacefully.